All right, guys, so I'm gonna show you an absolutely guilt-free dessert and also get your carbs in the evening. And what this does is it gets you all your nutrients that you need. And I've been getting my sleep scores into the mid 90s with this, low 90s, mid 90s, once I've started having this in the evening, because you're getting all of the deficiencies. Because basically when you're not getting a good night's sleep, it's basically your body saying, hey, I don't have the proper nutrients in me, so I'm not gonna get the best sleep. So when you put those things in, all of a sudden your sleep gets amazing because your body is satisfied when it goes to bed and it can just absolutely rest. Everything here is one ingredient, and then obviously we compile them together. So that's one thing that's very important in my food now. Everything I do is basically has one ingredient. Whatever it is, it's the food that comes out of the ground. They say if it's made in a plant, avoid it. If it comes from a plant, eat it. So this thing is unbelievable and it's so good and so clean. And here's everything that's in here. So first I have one grated carrot. So I put that in this bowl, and then a large sweet potato. So I have a sweet potato in there. The other thing I have here is I love to have a little bit of a crunch when I'm eating something, and a little bit, I have a sweet tooth for chocolate, but this is 100% cocoa. So there's no sugar in here, no added sugar. There's a little bit of sugar, looks like there is no sugar in this. It has some carbohydrates and everything in there as well. So this is just a little bit chopped up, and it gives it that chocolate flavor. You'll get the taste of the chocolate, and it also gives a little bit of crunch in there. I'm a sucker for peanut butter. This peanut butter, again, one ingredient. The only thing in here is peanuts. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and I might be a little bit generous on these tablespoons because I do love peanut butter. So peanut butter and chocolate in here. So we're adding that. The next thing that I'm adding, so these are just rolled oats, and all it is simply oats. And what I do, this is so good. So I take pure Irish butter, grass-fed. So I'm using butter in here as well. So I'm getting fats, I'm getting carbs, I'm also getting proteins in here. So I microwave the butter in here. So these oats are covered in butter. And then I'm also gonna put cinnamon in here. I'm telling you guys, this is the cleanest thing, and it's so flippin' good that you actually are satisfied. So I do put a generous amount of cinnamon in there. So I'm gonna stir that up. So I've got melted butter in here. So now when you're biting into these, you're getting just that buttery taste. It's almost like popcorn. I mean, you can eat this just, that's perfect. So we're gonna throw that in there. So we've got all this stuff in here. This is gonna help you sleep. We're gonna take a banana. I do not get the ripe bananas. I get pre-ripened bananas, so they don't have so much sugar in them. I'm gonna take this banana, throw that in there. And I'm also gonna throw some organic blueberries in there. Actually, I'm gonna throw those in at the end. I'm gonna mix this up first. And then I will absolutely throw those blueberries in here. So once we get this all mixed up, the nice thing about this as well, actually need a stronger tool, is you can turn these into little balls and then put them into the freezer or the fridge. Then you can have as snacks throughout the day. So you've got to get your carbs and you got to get your nutrients. And this is so good. This you have that sweet tooth, it's like you're craving something. This is the way to get around that. And I might actually just get my hands in here and get dirty just to get this all mixed up. So we mix all of this together. I'm actually just going to do that. This is my first try at the video, so you're just going to get some shit. So we're gonna get this all mixed up. I'm putting the blueberries in there last because I don't want to mush the blueberries. I want them to I can actually bite into those blueberries. So everything in here, clean, good for you, gonna satisfy you. You're gonna sleep like a baby, which is the key here. So now, we're gonna throw in those blueberries. So you're getting all your potassium, your magnesium, all of your vitamin A, B, and C, everything in here. So again, I apologize for looking like crap here. I'm gonna turn these into little balls on my little baking pan here. Then I'm gonna freeze these. So these are gonna basically be little treats, but then they're also gonna be my before bed. And it's probably an hour and a half before you go to bed, because you do have a little bit of sugar in here for the banana. That's why I use a non-ripe banana because you get a little less sugar. I don't want to be pounding my body with sugar before I go to bed, even though it's a natural sugar. And then obviously you got protein from the peanut butter, you got protein from the oats, you've got a ton of carbs in here as well. And again, the whole goal here is to, when you're eating clean, to not feel like you're in the penalty box and not having good food. I have found so much good food that is clean by using one ingredient food and then obviously combining it once I get it home into great dishes. And you can be as creative as you want with this. If there's certain things here that you don't like, maybe you don't like carrots or something along those lines, but the carrots give it a nice little sweetness along with the bananas. But if you can make yourself a meal prepping is key in this as well. So I make a large batch of this. So I never have an excuse. There's always something in my fridge where if I'm having that little craving in that little weak moment, I can go to this and it's satisfying. It fills you up because it's actual real food, so you're satiated after you eat it. So I'm gonna kind of wrap this up here, but if you can whip yourself up a batch of this, try this before you go to bed, again, like an hour and a half, just to give yourself a little bit of time to digest, because you don't want to be digesting your food when you go to bed. But this will leave you full, gets you all the stuff that you need for sleeping, the potassium, the magnesium, all of your vitamins. Your body actually is satisfied and can actually rest when you're laying down. Now, is it going to offset all the shit that you did to it? If you did some bad stuff throughout the day, if you put some poisons in your body, it's going to sure as hell try. It may not solve everything, but if you can clean that up as well and then start getting sleep scores in your 90s, you're going to be blown away with what happens to your body. Your mind, your body, everything is going to start transforming just by putting in this clean food. All of my muscle, my brain function is at, like I said, the highest level it's ever been in my life just by putting in clean food. So that is a quick little breakdown on this. Hope this helps you. Again, stay healthy, be clean, and just, again, thrive with your health. It changes everything.